So yeah, from this slide onwards, like we're going to enter the main topic, the main subject of the session. So which is the screenplay processing. Like we have, see, we have covered up what stories and the kind of we have covered up the introduction of this story play, and now we are going to enter the main session of okay, story play to screenplay. So we have different stages of we process a story, and here are the 7 stages of development where a screenplay is processed or a story is developed into a screenplay. Okay. So the first one is logline, and the second one is synopsis, and the third one is character sketches or biographies. The fourth one is step outline, and the fifth is treatment, and then scriptment, and then screenplay. So while I explain and while I interact, if anyone has any doubt, they're welcome to ask any questions. Okay. So I have this a small example of logline. So see, a logline or a premise. So they are almost the same, but a premise might be a little bit of a detailed version of logline. A logline is nothing but a one-line description or a one-line story or a one-line expression of any plot. See, I've given us an example of Godfather, but I can also give you a few other examples, like for example, Sixth Sense. A small boy sees dead people. So okay, even that expression, even that phrase has a completion. It has a conflict in the phrase, in the line, in the statement. A small boy sees dead people. So even that becomes a log line for you. So here, as a small example I've given, we'll just read it out. That's a log line for Godfather. The aging patriarch of an organized crime dynasty transfers control to his, clandestine empire to his reluctant son. So I think many of almost everyone have watched Godfather. I think this is the standard logline for this film. I think everyone would agree with that. So the aging patriarch of an organized crime dynasty transfers control of his clandestine empire to his reluctant son, and that's the complete story from the beginning to the end. So that's the logline of the film. So it should have the kind of how the story begins and how the story it moves, it proceeds of the confrontation part, and then it also should reveal the resolution, how the story is gonna resolve. So all these elements should be kept in mind while designing a logline for a film. So many people, many story writers, they really find hard to finish a script or finish a story or finish a screenplay, because many people they really fail to design a very bright logline. So when you prepare, when you really write down a good bright logline where you can really find the character's progression and the story's progression in that, then the story will have its own substance, and it'll become an interesting story. So the starting point of your screenplay processing would be logline or premise. Okay. And then comes the synopsis. Synopsis is something like after you prepare, after you develop this logline. So this logline is it's one line or a 2-line description of your story, and this synopsis becomes a half page or a 1 page of your complete story. Okay, we can write.
Sorry to interrupt. Can long line can be called as a storyline, or what is the difference between this plot and long line?
Okay, so a storyline is a little bit of a detailed version of whatever a logline and premises. So when you have a logline and when you develop it into a synopsis, you will not need a storyline. Okay, it depends on your kind of working style. When you write a storyline, and you would also write you would also develop a story outline, and that's altogether a different process. But here, we have almost the storyline and logline are almost similar, but storyline it's a little bit of a bigger version of a logline. Logline is something like you can remember in one line. Okay, storyline should be a kind of detailed for at least 4 or 5 lines. So that's it. That's the only difference between a logline and a storyline. So, and synopsis, it's quite an extended version of whatever you said, the storyline. It's an extended version of a storyline. So coming to our own, whatever the kind of we are developed 7 stage of development. Synopsis is as I was telling, like it's a one-page description of the log line, and it's a detailed version of the log line. Here, a synopsis can be written in 3 paragraphs, where you can have a you can describe the beginning of a story, and then come to a middle of the story, and then describe the end of the story. So 3 paragraphs, 1 page. So it can be a kind of a good professional way of writing a synopsis. And then we need to develop a kind of the third stage of storytelling, the third stage of screenplay processing, which is called character sketch, a character sketch or a character biography. So character biography is something which you prepare. It's a kind of a protagonist's journey, or a kind of his backstory, or his flashback, whatever you can say. So it's a biography for the character. Uh, it should be written in a way that keeping in mind, okay, what kind of a story this character would have gone through till the point where the story begins. Story begins from a point, right? So before that, point, what kind of story the character has gone through? What is the journey of the character from the childhood? You can write the childhood. You can write a college story of the protagonist or the character. You need not show that in the film, or you need not show the film in the beginning. This kind of sequences or scenes in the beginning, but the character biography is something which you write for your own understanding as a writer. Character sketches are more like a story which you write before writing a story, for a character, because you start a character's journey from a point. So before that point, whatever happens, from the beginning till the point the story begins. So till that point, whatever the journey the character faces, or whatever the journey the character goes through, is called a character sketch or a character biography. So that you can, while writing, the writer would really understand the character more. If you know the journey of the character, as a writer, you'll understand the character more than anyone else. So you can, while it'll help you while writing a dialogue, or while writing a scene, or while writing a screenplay, to insert a flashback, or to insert a backstory, or to have a reference of his childhood. So it'll help you in every way of elevating your storytelling. So that's one major aspect of storytelling, is preparing character biographies. You need not like prepare for every character, but I think for every prominent character you should be preparing these character sketches, because it will help you in the development process of screenplay processing. So we have done with the character biographies. And then, okay, so the backstory and flashback, see, they're almost the same thing. Flashback is something which you show visually. So when you show a backstory in a visual way, and when the storytelling goes backward, then it becomes a flashback. You call it technically, the backstory is technically called flashback. So no difference between a backstory and a flashback. Then we get into the step outline. So what is step outline? So step outline is a major factor, to develop a screenplay, to develop a good screenplay, just like a log line. So step outline is something which we can describe in a very simple way, which we can tell a story told in steps. Okay, so you would have your story, you would have your beginning, middle, and end. You would have a kind of good full outline of your story, but sometimes, like, some few things, few elements would be additional, few elements would be unnecessary. So you need to be fully focused with your kind of step outline, the story told in steps. So each steps will help you in plotting your screenplay, so that you can develop a better screenplay, and a better conflict, and a better plot points for the storytelling, for the screenplay. Yeah, it's a single line order, but it's single line. It's more professional way of writing a single line order. So even here, like, you'll have this kind of even a scene has a beginning, middle, and end. So in this step outline, like, step outline is wrote in one. Each step is it's one line. So each line will have a beginning, middle, and end. So likewise, like, a regular screenplay will have either 60 or 70 step outlines, so that with each step outline is an event. So it's an event in a screenplay. So each event would become a scene. later. So a step outline should have a kind of a beginning of the scene, as I told you, and then how the kind of what kind of drama it's dealing you should have in the middle, and then how the scene is going to end. It should be written in the last of your step outline. So we are done with the step outline. As I told you, like a step outline is a story told in steps. Then the treatment. A treatment is nothing but just like I told you, we would develop a synopsis from the log line, right? So the same thing applies here. From the step outline, we would develop a treatment. So a step outline is one step action of an event. A treatment is one paragraph action of a same event. Here we'll have detailing, like what kind of ambience, what kind of action the character goes through, the detailing of the location, the detailing of the mood of the film, and the kind of climate kind of descriptions. So all kind of this kind of descriptions can be added in the treatment. So when you add this, the visual part, the visual kind of the kind of flesh, it will be evident in your mind while developing the screenplay. And with this, you develop the you develop the screenplay in a very visually appealing way. So after treatment, there is one more stage called scriptment. Not many follow this scriptment because straight away many people. Can you give examples? Okay, I'll just finish off this and I'll give examples. Cool. I can explain treatments. Okay. Okay, I'll explain you. See, a step outline is something, a story. We have a story, right? We have we have readied a story. So the story has events. Okay, each event should be told in one step, and then which whatever prepared step outline, which whatever prepared event, like we'll be developing that into one paragraph. Okay, where the single event will be given details, like we have this kind of action details, like location details, or the kind of properties details. So for example, if there is a special property of a protagonist, like for example, three dates, or Rang De Basanti or something. If see if the protagonist is a photographer or a writer, he'll be carrying his in a book or the kind of camera with him for for almost every scene. So a step outline would have a kind of a vague kind of short description of the kind of the details of the character or scene, whereas the treatment will have a complete detailed sketch, a detailed description of what the step outline is. I hope you got what treatment is now. So then there is one more a stage called scriptment. Not many follow this scriptment because not many are aware of this. There's one more stage between treatment and screenplay. A scriptment is nothing but a kind of mixture of a treatment and a screenplay. A scriptment is a combination of treatment and screenplay. The main difference between the treatment and the screenplay is the dialogues, right? The dialogue part of the from the treatment we have in the screenplay. The action part and the action part and the dialogue part becomes screenplay. But here in the scriptment, we'll have the treatment plus a little dialogue inputs in the scriptment, because we need not we'll be having this rough dialogues there in the scriptment. So that in the screenplay we'll have a rough dialogue and then develop into a full-fledged dialogues. So from the treatment with the detailed description of the step outline, with that reference, like we'll be developing an action part in the screenplay. But before that, we'll develop the scriptment. The scriptment will have this kind of a treatment references, and then a small dialogue inputs in the script and in the treatment. So with that, we'll be ready with the full-fledged development of a screenplay. So these are the major seven stages of development when it comes to screenplay processing. So yeah, so we'll go to the next slide.
Before that, if anybody has any doubts regarding these 7 stages, they can ask it.
Yeah.
Can you give an example of the step outline? Like, just take an example of a scene. Like, how can you put that into that line by line event, and then just to have an idea about it.
Okay. So we can see. I'm for the next topic of 3-act structure. Like I've taken this example of Three Idiots. So we can talk about Three Idiots because the film starts in an airport. Okay, there's this flight and flight interior. Madhavan's character. Okay, he receives a phone call, and he expresses something surprising and shock element, and then he acts something. Okay, so a step outline is something where you can write Farhan, he gets a call. Okay, Farhan is traveling in a flight. He gets a call, and then he acts so that he can come out of the flight. So there's the step outline. And for this, there's an event, and this you write in the step outline. And then from this event, you develop a treatment. Okay, a treatment is like exterior, flight, taking off. Okay, and then introduction into the interior of the flight, introduction of Farhan's character. Okay, he's seeing somewhere, and he receives a phone call, and then he speaks. Chatur is calling. Chatur is on the other line, and he's revealing something which is not audible. And then with the kind of action, we become aware that okay, there is something important which is happening to Farhan, where he really has to like come out of the flight at any cost. And then he makes an act like some kind of cardiac arrest or something like that, and then the flight halts, and then he comes out of the airport, and then he just becomes normal and escapes from the airport. So this much of the small event which you have written from in the step outline becomes this much big of a detailed description in the treatment. Okay, and now the same thing when it becomes into a scriptment, the kind of dialogue, what are you saying? So when he gets a call, when he says this, what are you saying? You can write, okay, he's saying something, and you can write a rough dialogue of the conversation between Chatur and the Farhan's character. You can write a rough dialogue, and then you'll have the statement which I have explained now. You'll have the statement, and then this rough dialogue in the scriptment, and then when you develop the screenplay, okay, this reminds you, okay, when writing the script, this reminds, okay, there should be a dialogue here. So what should be the dialogue here? Should be a dialogue, or should be a silence thing, or should be a conversation, or should it be a reaction counterpart? So this you'll decide while writing the screenplay. But if your mind says, okay, there needs to be a dialogue here, you'll write it in scriptment, a rough dialogue. So so that you'll implement this in a very detailed way. So this treatment and scriptment, they break into two parts, like action and dialogue. So screenplay, there is an action part and then the dialogue part. So dialogue part and action part combined, we call it as a screenplay. So I hope
Thank you, sir. That
you understood.
explains. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll go to this different slide. Yeah. So I'm very sorry. Like I wasn't aware that I'm visible. Like I thought like the PPT is visible. So one of my friends told me go back. So I'm very sorry for scaring you with my whatever the close-up face. So Soumya, to the previous slide, please. Next step of our session, it's this is also a major step of storytelling, of cinema storytelling. These are called story elements. So we have discussed the 7 stages of screenplay processing, and now we'll get into this story elements before we get into other major aspect called 3-act structure. So before that, we can discuss this character, the main story elements of the screenplay. So first element is the character, and the second is the setting and conflict, plot, and resolution. So we have discussed this character biography, while discussing the 7 stages. But what kind of detailing we have to give for a character, and what should the developments should be design for a character. So this will be discussing now, we'll be interacting now. So the next slide, Soumya. So the character will be divided in, when you design a character in a screenplay, so you'll be needing all these kind of points in your writing table. When the character, a character should have a physical attributes. Physical attributes, it's someone like something like the kind of physical description of the character, his height, his weight and all, the kind of looks he has and all. And then the personality traits, like if the main protagonist, each character will have different kind of personality traits, right? So we have to write down the traits. And then we have to, these are the kind of questions which you should answer before writing any screenplay. Okay, because like depending on a genre, like if you're dealing any action or any drama or any romance, like these kind of questions, it will help you. For example, if you're writing any action adventure or any superhero films, so these kind of these elements will really help you in writing a very good screenplay. So I have few examples. I'll just tell you all those things. So for example, physical attributes. So you can write down it depending on your character, character description: tall, tough, modern, young, or the kind of small details like what kind of shirts he likes, what kind of shoes he wears, and what kind of kind of a ruffian or a kind of a very fashionable person or something like that. So these kind of if it's a Spider-Man, what kind of attire he wears, so what kind of look you're designing for the physical attributes. So these elements you can write down in the physical attributes thing. And personality traits, so what kind of personality traits you can write. So it depends on the kind of mood of your character. If he is you should first write down whether he is an introvert or an extrovert. So for introvert, you'll have different personality traits like silent, very shy, very studious, nerd. This kind of personality traits they'll be having. But if he's an extrovert, so what kind of thing, like naughty, shameless. So these kind of personality traits, like you'll be writing according to the character, the kind of character graph you have decided for your script. So for example, I'll just read out one kind of personality trait: a silent, angry young man types who rides a hero bicycle. A silent, angry young man who types like angry young man types who rides a hero bicycle. He's determined, he's uncompromising, he's a genius student, caring friend, respectful youngster, compassionate uncle. Like he's sober yet charming boyfriend, responsible citizen, rebellious towards antisocial elements or forces. And we can have some other personality trait like a tempered man who is asked to control his anger. All these kind of traits, it will help you to develop the character. It will help you in developing a good characterization. So this personality trait which I have read it out, a silent, angry young man types who rides a hero bicycle, determined, uncompromising, genius student, caring friend and all. This is a character personality trait of Ram Gopal Varma's Shiva's protagonist. So this is one kind of example I have for you. And so all the below given questions, like the character is the, you should answer, as I told you, you should answer that questions like to develop the kind of genre to strengthen your plot or to strengthen your substance in the screenplay. It goes like the character is the one who involved in a certain situation. So this situation, it determines your hero's journey or hero's conflict level. So whatever the kind of situation, it is a bomb blast, whether it is a terrorist attack, or whether it's a kind of girlfriend encounter, or whether it's a kind of accident, whatever it is. So you should be defining the kind of certain situation the character is going to face in the film, so that after that the story will be driven by the character, and then the story progresses. So you should answer this question, and then the development of the situation. So this development, and from when the character is involved in the situation, the story will be developed. So the situation will be developed and the story will be progressing further. And you should be also aware that whether the character draws the audiences into the process of empathy. Empathy is a key factor to really engross the audiences through the character. So empathy is something like films like Three Idiots has the best in a best way. It's like see, we have three pathies, like empathy, sympathy, and apathy. So sympathy to an extent is also a threat for a storytelling. So you should aim for empathy. Empathy is something like as an audience, like you would see that okay, so the protagonist has some innovative points, just like in Three Idiots, and he's very new. He's not normal, but you'll have this doubt whether he'll be successful, whether he'll really achieve what he's thinking, whether he can deliver what he believes in his kind of a, the kind of portrayal of his character. So when you have this doubt, but when you like him, you'll decide, okay, I like him, but I have doubt. So I'll see, because I like his kind of characterization or kind of a personality. I'll step into his shoes and see his perspective in the story, and through him, like you become him, right? When the film ends, when he succeeds in the end, you feel that you have succeeded. Like, yes, I have succeeded, my hero has succeeded. So this is the kind of empathy, when the character has this kind of empathy factor in him or in it. So the audience tend to get this kind of an feeling when you watch a film. So even sympathy is not really advised. So as a writer, like, you should really generate this empathy factor while writing the screenplay. Then the personality changes. So this is also one of the major aspect of this character design. You should be you should be very clear whether the personality, will there be any personality change in the character, like whether the character changes from positive to negative, or negative to positive, or will he have any growth in the course of the story. So this is the kind of the kind of point you should write down. And then see, best example is Three Idiots. So in Three Idiots, the hero doesn't have so much of personality changes, because he changes other characters. So he plays a kind of a catalyst hero. So a catalyst hero is somebody like who doesn't change, but brings change in the other characters of the story, or brings change in the society. So other people surrounding him will have personality changes, but he'll be having not so much of a personality change, but he'll bring growth or change in others in the story. But character as a problem solver, not every film has this kind of a point, but if your film has, and if you haven't written it, so you will have to think, okay, is my character is any problem solving guy, just like in Three Idiots. Does he have any kind of very big conflict which he will be solving in the end, in the act 3 part? So these are the major points you should write down when you're preparing a character. The next slide, Soumya. Yeah, so we discussed about the 4 dimensions of a story, and here for the story elements also, there's this kind of point called setting. Almost the same thing, but it is more it is more inclined towards the character setting, or character setting in the story. So the setting decides, like, where the story takes place, and the circumstances in which the main character is at starting, when it takes place, and economic conditions of the character. So this will so economic conditions, whether he belongs to an urban class, or middle class, upper middle class, this kind of economic condition, it decides this kind of the kind of behavior. You can design a behavior of a character by writing down all these kind of points. So yeah, setting, when it takes place, it is a kind of time period of the story, and the circumstances is like the conflict through which the character will proceed in the story, which will lead to the climax. So this is the second point, the circumstances in which the main character is at the starting. Like, so how is so in the beginning, like, not every person will have a kind of a strong journey in the beginning itself, right? So he'll be having his own life in the story for the first 10 minutes, for the first 10 to 20 minutes, and then from a point, like, there starts an issue, and from that issue takes him to the next level. With this you'll understand more in a better way while we discuss the third act, and while we discuss this Three Idiots as an example for the 3-act structure. So the next slide, Soumya. So the conflict. So Tarani, I think Tarani, she asked about this three levels of the character sketches, and she mistook that character sketches for conflict. So this answers your question, Dharani. So this is the conflict. I mean, conflict. Even building the conflict in a story, it gives you some kind of few questions to answer to write the screenplay. So what kind how the conflict is developed, how the conflict is developed in a story with the character. So the story tells about a character who wants something, question mark. Okay, wants something, what that wants something, it's a dramatic need of the character. So few protagonists will be passive, few protagonists will be unwilling to take anything, they'll be lazy. For example, wake up Said's film, he'll not have any goal in his film, he'll not have any want in the film. But after a point, after turning point in the journey, they'll find something where they have to reach a goal, they'll find their want. Few films from the beginning itself, they'll have this ambition or passion, but few films it'll take some time for the protagonist to know what their need is, to know what their want is. So it's like that. So you should be asking this yourself, like while developing the conflict in the story with your main protagonist. And then the second point, the character makes efforts to get it. So what kind of efforts does the character make? And this builds the drama in your story. So whatever the genre you pick up, so this second point builds the drama in your story. And the third point, the character faces some opposition in getting what he wants. So this triggers your conflict. This rises your conflict point and gives your protagonist a very tough kind of a situation, tough kind of a challenge. And this will make you tense, like, okay, will my hero win in the end or what? So this is the third point, is a main point in building the conflict. So the fourth point, this forces the character to come up with some other step to achieve his goal. Like, for example, Munnabai or any of this Rajkumar Hirani's films, the heroes will be having an alternative take to achieve their goal. For example, in 3 Idiots, like they are rusticated, and that's almost the beginning of the end. Like, you'll be clueless, how the hero is going to win, man. He's rusticated, how he's going to achieve, and how the kind of belief which I was in the beginning of the film, and how my hero is going to take that belief in a successful way. That doubt you will have. There, the kind, as a storyteller, like, you'll have a kind of other step to achieve the main goal. So you become you insert a kind of a scene which is equally challenging, which suits the character, which suits the drama, and which is logically applicable in the drama or in the screenplay. So in the end, there is a delivery, the landmark delivery scene in the 3 Idiots, where an engineer, he makes this possible. He makes this miraculous, medical kind of a miracle, and he really delivers the baby in the end. And through that, there's a there's a change in the character of the professor, and he completely changes into a positive person, and he'll think that I should leave my ego for this fellow, and then he gifts something to him, and which he has not done in many years, and he'll be delivering it to the character. So this kind of the fourth level of conflict, it's majorly implemented in the last act. I mean, almost in the climax portion of the screenplay. So these are the main elements to develop the conflict in your screenplay. So the next slide. Okay, so now coming to the main topic, plot. Yeah. So we have discussed character. We have discussed character, setting, conflict. So, and this character, setting, conflict. So what all these three elements will be developed into. So these elements will be developed into nothing but a plot, right? So a plot, what is a plot? So as I told you, I was like mentioning beginning, middle, end. So every scene, every aspect of storytelling will have beginning, middle, and end. So the plot also will have beginning, middle, and end in a major way. So I'll just tell you, I'll just brief you from where this beginning, middle, and end came from. You have this famous Greek philosopher, poet called Aristotle. Like he discovered this beginning, middle, end, and it comes from theater. And through this, I mean, see, every aspect of our life will have this beginning, middle, and end. Even our day-to-day life will have this beginning, middle, and end. So you can ask me how our day-to-day life will have this beginning, middle, and end. So we have morning, see, we have morning, afternoon, evening, and night. So it is a kind of beginning, middle, and end. Morning is beginning, afternoon, evening are the middle, and then the end is night. So for so we have 3-act structure in our own life, in our daily life. So to develop a plot, a beginning, middle, and end is essential. And what is this beginning, middle, and end? We'll be, learning it in the next slide. Okay, so there is the major aspect of the story elements is the resolution. Okay, the beginning, middle, end will be in the next slide. It is a 3-act structure, but before that, we'll be learning this resolution part of this elements of the story. This is the last part of this story elements, which is the resolution. The resolution part is something like the kind of developed conflicts or the kind of implemented conflicts in the story or in the screenplay will be resolved. The kind of challenge the hero is facing, the kind of challenging journey the hero is going through, so will be resolved in the end. See, if it is a positive resolution, then the genre, I mean, if the genre is a comedy drama, then the end will be positive. But if it's a tragedy, the kind of progression or the resolution will be from the positive to negative. So solving the main problem that the story has been dealing with. So if it solves, as I told you, it is a comedy drama. If it doesn't solve, then it becomes a tragedy. So what kind of moral, not every film has this moral in a bright, few films has the moral in a brighter way, a few films has the moral in a very subtle way. Films like for example, all the Shankar's films or all the Rajkumar Hirani's films will have this moral demonstrated in the plot in the end. Like every audience who is watching the film, will learn some moral. Will have this. Will learn the moral in the film, and then they leave the theaters. So that's the resolution part. So we'll